Well, I understand what they've been through because housing, everything real estate related, was part of a bubble, and it was a huge bubble. And because homes are such an important part of the resources of most families. I mean, you have 75 million or so single-family homes, and for a great many of those 75 million people, it's their most important asset. So when that bubble burst, because of really overproduction of new homes, it affected millions of people, including real estate brokers. It posed a couple of very tough years to come, and there wasn't any way around it. I mean, if you had too many houses, you had to wait till household formation started sopping up that inventory, and that's basically occurred now. I congratulate on getting through the last few years, and the coming years are going to be a lot better. We see it in all our housing-related businesses. We have a brick business, we have a carpet business, we have insulation. I mean, we are in all aspects of housing, and they're all coming back strong. I bought my home in 1958, so this fall I will have been at 55 years, and it's been, it's the best investment with the exception of those 2 wedding rings that I've made. It isn't that I made that much money on it, but the memories, the happiness, you can't buy that. I think finding a home that's going to be where your kids grow up, where the neighborhood kids come in, where the trick-or-treaters come, whatever it may be, it fills your life with memories you can't get any other way, and brings all kinds of pleasure. The business is going to be around forever. Berkshire's going to be around forever, and we want to be in the businesses that are very enduring. We have a railroad that's going to be taking care of people 100 years from now. We have utility operations that'll be doing the same thing, and real estate brokerage operations they will be here 100 years from now, and the ones that do the best job of serving their clientele are the ones that are going to expand, and it'll always be a very important business. Well, we think the Berkshire Hathaway name will be good for home services, and we think home services is good for Berkshire. I mean, when people are making a decision of the magnitude of buying a house, I mean, it's the biggest decision a great many families will ever make. They want to know who they're working with, and it's important. I mean, it's like going to a doctor when you're not feeling good, and when you want to buy a house, you want to go to somebody that knows what they're talking about and that has your interests at heart. And we think that the name Berkshire Hathaway will be reassuring to many of those people. 20 years ago, it wouldn't have been known the same way, but now we employ 300,000 people almost in the United States, and I think in market value we're maybe 3rd or 4th largest in the country. So the name really means something. It can help the home services brokers, and we think that we love the fact home services is a part of Berkshire, and we'd love to see it grow a lot. So if our name helps, I'm glad to have it out there. Berkshire Hathaway is built to be forever, and it's true of all our businesses that we own. And so you want to be part of an organization that's not looking to sell out next week or next month or next year, or where the founders, when they leave, the place will crumble or something of the sort. In terms of permanence, we've got an organization that not only can't be topped by anyone, but can't be matched by anyone. And I would want to be associated with somebody that had that sort of long-term future assured, where the financial strength was unquestioned, where the name stood for integrity, and what quality that you would want does Berkshire Hathaway and home services not have, and I don't think you can find one. I always say you find out who's been swimming naked when the tide goes out. Well, the tide went out, and we weren't swimming naked at all. Home services has proven itself big time. When other people were contracting during this period, home services added a number of brokerage operations. We didn't have to contract any place. I mean, there are certain markets that shrunk temporarily, but there was no financial pressure to do it. We were playing offense when the others were struggling to play defense. Home services will be around tomorrow, next week, next month, and a century from now. If you're making an investment in what may be the most important asset you'll ever have, you sure want to know that when you go and have any questions about anything or whatever may come up, that you don't find a little sign on the door that says out of business, and that'll never happen with home services. What a company stands for is key over time. I mean, we talk at Berkshire Hathaway all the time about building culture, and culture counts. And you can't do it in a day or a week or a month. I mean, it takes time, but it's a terrific asset when you get it. And we will be building, we already have, but it will continue day after day, grain of sand after grain of sand. And Berkshire and Hathaway and Home Services together will be building on values that are the kind that you can put on the front page of a newspaper and that everybody that's associated with the company can be proud of. Join up with the best. I mean, if I were a football player, I want to join up with the best football team. You know, wherever it is, you will gain from the strengths of those around you. To me, it's an obvious choice. I mean, who else in the real estate brokerage business has the resources of a company that has almost $200 billion of net worth? I mean, you know, there may be one or two companies in the United States that has greater strength. We've got hundreds of thousands of shareholders that believe in us. We've got hundreds of thousands of employees. Through GEICO, we insure 10% of all the households in the United States with our autos. So and we're growing in all these areas. So get on a train that's going 80 miles an hour. Don't get on one that's stuck on a sideline.